No Applause, episode 2. Big Wolves in the building. Today we got my boy Chicken, and then we got Sir Lebney, always in the building. What's up?
What it do?
The elephant in the room is that a lot of people have already seen the video. How do you feel about only greens going in for 2K21? Is it a good or a bad move? For me, I'm honestly going to say that I don't believe that it's a good move because of the simple fact when you're comparing realism, which is real life, and a video game, you can only do so much. It either has to be a fun game or it has to be a realistic game. And realistically, we touched on it a little bit. In real life, there's a lot of times when you can have the prettiest release, bet your life on the fact that you feel like the shot is going in and it missed. Same thing vice versa with you can throw up a crazy ass shot just thinking that, you trying to hit rim and somebody go get the rebound and it end up dropping. So there's a fine line between playing with the fact of realism and it just being a crazy arcade game. I do believe that there should be different game modes, which we can get into later on, that can affect the realism of shots, whether it's greens or whites. But that's my initial opinion on that. What you thinking, Chicken?
I'm pretty much the same way. Like in real life and in video game, like there really is only so much like the developers can do, and they have to think about their customer base and what majority of people buys your game.
Right.
Majority of people that buy 2K are people who sit on the couch and they play it on a big flat screen. They're not like everybody else who have just setups dedicated just for playing just 2K where we're playing on a 1 millisecond response time monitor.
Casuals.
OD. So it's just saying that if you don't green the shot, you're gonna miss. It's really almost kind of like absurd. Like I do feel like in other game modes, like it should be tweaked more towards that. Like if you're doing custom, I wish you could do a lot more like customization with the sliders for private prime.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was a way.
That's a good point.
Maybe they can work it in the next gen, hopefully. Just like almost how Counter Strike, Call of Duty, how these other games have like different amounts of like customization
that you can mess with.
Or a custom game, and then that can make it so easy for people who wanna when they're playing in tournaments. If you're playing in a tournament, you got to be on the top, like a wager. Like you're playing for money. You got to be on the top of your game, and then like if it's like regular season, a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
But then playoffs, if you don't green, then then maybe we can talk about that a little bit more. But if it's not a high stakes game, they could be less forgiving. More forgiving on mistimed. Well, I shouldn't say mistimed, on slightly late or slightly early.
Slightly late and slightly early, because those are dang near greens. They just don't green. But you made some interesting points though. But what about you, Lebney? What you think?
For me, I agree with you guys. But personally, I don't think there should be greens at all because nothing is guaranteed in sports. Like, if
interesting.
You see, I don't know. I don't watch basketball as much. I'm a soccer guy. But I was watching basketball, and Jennings had a wide open layup to win the game. And 99% of the time, right, you're gonna make it. But he missed.
If they just arrived from a second half, and these passes are resulting in layups.
So I watch every soccer game. Messi is the best in the world at what he does. I know some of you guys don't want to
say that one more time. What? Say that one more time. What? Who?
Messi is the best in the world.
Talk to him. Yes, sir.
He is considered one of the best, right? Like LeBron James, right? So in the World Cup, right, he had a penalty. So if you guys don't know, no, it wasn't the World Cup. It was the Copa America.
It was the Copa America, yeah, and he missed.
And if you guys watch basketball, that's like if you guys play prime, that's like having a free throw to win the game.
Yep, and he missed it.
And he missed it.
And Messi put Argentina in front. He missed it.
You can't. Like,
Well, that happens. Though.
Yeah, it's not
It
guaranteed.
happens.
That's
That's
his
the thing.
point. Yeah, that's his point.
It happens.
Yeah,
Like
it happens.
I can't expect me. Messi, he probably did the same thing he did every time, right? He pressed for you guys. You guys pressed the square button the same exact time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he just missed. So like for me, they said only greens. I'm like, that's impossible. Like you shouldn't be able to go 100% every time because it's not realistic.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's a real good ass point.
Even like I see open. I've seen Neymar with no goalie miss.
Yeah. Yes.
You can't predict it. Like you guys, they should be happy you could be able to green. If the game was realistic, greening wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a thing. You're
It
right.
would just be like I shot it perfectly. I got a 95% chance of making it.
Yeah.
And you miss, right?
Yeah, and you miss.
And you miss.
You're
It's
right.
like you can't expect to be able to go 10 for 10 every game because then you're not playing the sport.
Yeah, because then you're
Like
not
Tom
playing.
Brady doesn't go 30 for 30 every game. Like
Yeah.
then it's not a sport. Then it's just perfection.
Yeah, perfection.
There's
right.
no perfections in sports.
You're right. You're right. All right, it's a good point, man. So then that brings us to the next question of should shooting really be the main focus of the game, or is it that the contest system needs work? For me, as a lock, I'm going to say yes, because of the fact that there's a whole lot of nonsense that drops. And of course, there goes, the simple fact of arcade versus realism. The game's supposed to be fun. Of course, crazy shots drop in real life. But there needs to be something. I always said that I feel they need to add a double contest system where if, let's say how, for point blank period, just like if two people are down inside the paint, just like this year, that I feel like would stop the post hop and the close hook, all that nonsense. If you got two people that are supposed to be lockdowns, and you got 6'3", 6'2", however tall guards spamming post hop shot, deep hooks, and y'all are both there jumping vertical in the air, and we can't snatch it out of the air. We 100%, 85, 89, however much you want to say, contest the shot, and it's green. Or it drops. Like, that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. At some point, there has to be a middle where certain things just can't happen, even if it's a video game. And that's why I believe, what we were talking about earlier, that in the competitive aspect, contested shots need to have more of a drop-off than open shots. That's my take on it. But how do you feel about it, Chicken?
Yeah. I won't fuck you. I be hitting those.
I know you do.
That really just shows, how well we know the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm trolling. It really just a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you.
Whole lot of cheese.
We've seen centers do it to us. We've seen centers do it to us guards for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
It was just time for us to turn the tables and can't beat them, join them. We just started post hooking.
Yep.
So that's really where it came from. It was just years of us getting destroyed on the 1v1s in the park. And we just like, you know what? They already took out the behind the back.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I don't care no more.
Yeah.
2K really don't like people dribbling the way we do anyway, for whatever reason, because people just like to complain. That's a whole. We could probably touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
For that one first.
Yeah.
Ooh. But yes, for competitive, they gotta turn that shit down.
They gotta turn it down. They have to, man.
And then with the contest system, I think that the thresholds from 40 to 100, that's cool, because that really shows, people who know how to either time their jumper or know the right badge combinations to have to where they can make those a little bit more than other people. But from 40 to like 10%, like that threshold right there, that has to be reworked.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way where I can only have Hall of Fame Deadeye, and I shoot, and I could green a 38% contest.
38% contest. Yeah.
Like I'm like greening that with no takeover.
With no takeover, and
like I understand if I have takeover, like okay, like takeover, it boosts your stats a little bit. So that's the purpose for it. But if I'm like, but if my and it gotta be like with the threshold of how high somebody's 3 is too, because I've seen people have like a just a straight 83 ball, and they have Hall of Fame shooting badges, and they're hitting shots.
Crazy shots
that I've seen stretches and pure sharps do.
Or a lot of times the pures that shouldn't be missing, and then it's the builds that can't shoot that don't miss.
I'll be wide open on a pure sharp. You know, I'll have damn near 123 balls just with boost and
air ball
and everything. Everything working on my side, and I'll miss.
And
I'll miss a full bar at the very least. Like,
and talking about that, Levney was touching on that as well, as far as the builds that can and can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? So what is your feelings on that, Levney?
I'm saying what I was saying was I don't think every build should be able to shoot or every build should be able to play defense. It's not sports. It isn't like that. Most of the time, I'm not going to put Curry on the big-ass center, or I'm not going to have the center shooting fadeaway 30s. That's like going back to I play soccer, so I'm going to go back to that. I'm not going to put Messi on goalkeeper to start Cristiano Ronaldo goals. It's not going to happen. Like, I don't care. Lockdown's going to be like, oh, but I'm good at the game. I should be able to shoot. No, I don't care how good you are at the game. We should not go 12 for 12 for the 3-point line. It's not realistic. I don't care if the best lockdown in the league. Like, I do not care. And then it makes you think more, right? Because in the offensive side, it's gonna make you not just play pick and roll and hit it to the corner. Because the lockdown's gonna get the ball. He's like, fuck, I got a 50% chance of making it. Should I even shoot it? That's realistic basketball. That's a realistic sport right there. Or if I have the point guard on my point guard, the point guard should not, with 6 defensive badges, should not strip me. That should not happen.
With 3 to 6 badges, huh? They'd be at
6 badges, getting more steals in the lockdown. Like, that really goes there.
And that is accurate too. A lot of people sit there and complain about that the guards in some circumstances play. It seems like they play better defense and get more steals than locks do.
Because we like that. That's why. Because we know.
Because they got thumbs.
Yes, because we got thumbs.
I'm a center. I play big man and prime and park and stuff, you know. If I have a 6'2" point guard on me, right, I should be able to go up every time.
No. No. You know why? Because the moment you start dribbling that ball, if I have a point guard with at least a 70 steal, that ball should be coming out of your hands before that ball even touches the ground.
If we're talking about that, oh my God, big men that dribble the ball and don't get ripped.
That's exactly. Bogut, 7 seconds on the clock. Bogut showing his ball behind the back to Curry for 3.
Oh, so fucking easy.
When we go for the steal and then y'all be and then it's a foul.
Here we go, the diesel. We knew we'd break it out here before long.
Put between the legs. The metal core enjoying it and looks to finish it.
Y'all,
come on. Oh, come on.
That shit at home.
No, but like, if you have Curry on Shaq, bro, Shaq is dunking on him every time.
No, he's not. That's if Curry's gonna let him. Curry will steal the ball on. I wouldn't say almost every time, but he's gonna
the ball down here.
You know.
Shaq get the ball.
You know what's funny? It would have been. I can't go with you, Chicken, because of the fact that he says Curry. Curry doesn't have good post defense. If you just said like Chris Paul, that's different. Chris Paul has great post defense. So I feel that Curry. I mean, Chris Paul is the single reason why I believe that in this game they added that the pickpocket feature also lets you strip layups because he does that all the time. Yeah, when people try to go up and he strips it all the time. Chris Paul does that all the time.
I love
So
that.
I mean, you're right. Like I can see it, Lebney. The fact that if you have a guard on you, but also the thing is that there's a lot of centers though that don't effectively use their post moves, and that's why they be getting stripped, or that's why that they can't score the way that they should be able to. So I mean, you got to be able to mash. You got to be able to whoop their ass down there, man. But you got to know it's the animations, man. It's if we being honest, that's really what the game come down to. And we were talking we touched on it a little bit earlier. We kind of skipped over it. If we really being honest, the game really just needs. And this is going to go into the next question, so I could go ahead and say it. It was going to be, what's something that you're looking forward to most, hoping that they add or take away from 2K21? And for me, it's just better animations that can be used and the bad ones taken out because of the fact that the game is literally animation based. You know exactly what you're talking about. And I don't disagree that if you're a center, especially if you're an inside center and you got a point guard on you who obviously don't specialize in defense, that you shouldn't just be able to hold square even if you don't use your post moves and just go straight up and make the shot.
Please stop trying to nerf the dribbling. Please. Because I'm tired of hearing, that it's unrealistic. It's a video game.
It's a video game.
Like that, there's got to be a certain point where we can draw the line between a video game and real life, animation-wise.
Yeah.
Because people are so fine with the Jordan Kilgannon dunk package. Who do you see pull out half those dunks in a real game?
Yeah, in a real game. Yeah.
Nobody.
There's a lot of stuff.
Only person I really seen closest doing that was Vince Carter. Jason Richardson. And a few other spectacular dunkers like that, but that's all they could do. They wasn't out here, shooting the ball or dribbling like that either. But for dribbling, if like 19, oh man, I loved 2K19's dribbling like so much just because I had so much freedom. I could momentum spin and then I could do a move, but it's more about knowing how to hold the right angle to get stuck in the animation for you to keep
comboing,
that dribbling.
Having thumbs.
When you think about when you see people like Steezo, J-Dub, all these guys, and you just see them dribbling, like Steezo said it first. He was like, when you're doing this, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's like it's like a fighting game. You're inputting these moves in a rapid succession so you can get a combo. And that's really all. Like when people say, Steezo dribbling, that's we're just comboing up for stylish plays. I know we'll take 20 seconds to do it, but as long as we get the bucket, what's the issue?
Yeah,
I can see if we're doing all that and we miss. Then y'all can be upset, but then on the other side though, like people who use screens, there should be a little bit more freedom when I'm dribbling behind the screen. I shouldn't be restricted to be like, I can only use this move so I don't get caught on the screen and the ball pops out. How often does that happen in real life when someone sets a screen? People are through the screen and the ball gets plucked. How often does that happen?
Yeah, not often.
Yeah, so I really just hope for next gen they have more control. I hope they don't try to give us, too much. Like they try to overdo it, trying to give us too many options. Like they'll try to give us one stick for one hand, the other stick for the other. Both triggers are for the feet. Like don't do that. That's so dumb. You'll have people over here doing the hokey pokey Harlem shit.
He said both triggers are for the feet. Y'all gonna be
and
out there. Y'all gonna be out there dug in.
Doing this, trying to do a crossover.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But,
I definitely agree because for me in the beginning of the game when a lot of people were complaining, I didn't have no problem with the behind the back that was being spammed all the time. Either you could guard it or you couldn't. The only issue was the fact that it stunned you for so long. That's what the big issue was, that people either were talking about or weren't talking about. The behind the back was fine. Either you had to have thumbs to be able to guard it, or, I mean, just don't be locked. Like, don't guard ball. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's, another story for another video again. But Lebney, what about you? What's something that you either hope they add or take away?
I'm okay with them adding anything. It's just if they add something on offense, they need to add something on defense in order to stop it.
Stop it.
Nothing should be unstoppable, right? So if you want the best dribblers in the moves, right, then let the lock be able to stop it. Like in every sport, right, it's a mental game, right? If I predict you're gonna do a dribble move and I press X, I should get the steal every time because I predict it's coming.
Yeah, because you know it's coming.
Like in soccer, I dribbling for me like a goalkeeper, right? If I predict where the ball is going, I'm gonna stop it, right? If you beat me, if your best beat my best, then okay, you beat me fairly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I play my best and I have no way of stopping you every time, then take the dribble move away. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna add all this dribble move and stuff, then if I predict it's coming and I press X at the perfect time, 10 out of 10, I should get that ball.
And my biggest thing is that I agree. I also believe that they have to do something that rewards the defense more, because there's too many times that you can predict when the ball is going to be, out and exposed, and it's either not plucked and then it gives them a free lane, or them dribbling into you over and over and then not losing the ball. Or whenever you do get an animation, knowing that they're tired, and you get a strip animation, then it's like that fumbling dumbass animation where they're going around fighting for the ball, and then it puts you behind them. Like, there's a whole bunch of animations that...
The thing about defense right now is, even when you play good defense, they say you shoot an air ball, right?
Yeah, there's too many animations, because there's a lot of them that are just unnecessary. Like the one that I was referring to. Why is it that if you're sitting here comboing, trying to break the defender down, I'm standing there, knowing that, you're doing whatever you're doing, waiting for you to expose the ball, I reach at the right time, it gives us the fumble animation, but instead of rewarding me for the defense, either giving me the strip ball, giving me the steal, or poking it out so another teammate can run and dive on it, giving us the possession, you giving me animations where I'm fumbling over, diving over him, I'm in the back of him, now he gets either a free lane or a free three. Like, that makes no sense to me. It's ridiculous.
Like,
so
I was talking to Chalk and some other people about it. Even when you play great defense, that animations 75% of the time is rewarded to the offense.
To the offense, yeah, it's rewarded to the offense. Yeah, it definitely is.
Even if you notice, right? Even if they shoot an air ball, half the time it goes straight to the.
It goes straight to the and that's where momentum comes in. That's where momentum comes in, because that's a real thing. It's when you it's not that I didn't believe in it before, but playing center, you can see it, because if depending on how your team is doing, just like how you said, that's a great example. If somebody throws up a shot, knowing that either you should get the rebound or that it should go in your vicinity, if it bounces away from you or goes, out of bounds or somewhere else, momentum is not in y'all's team's favor. Like, it's so easy to see as a center, because you get rebounds that you shouldn't get. You be snagging over people even if you're not in position, and there's animations that you're gonna get that you wouldn't get if your team didn't have momentum on y'all side. But as far as the animations go that you were talking about, counteracting, and if they add offense, what needs to be added on defense as well. My biggest takeaway from that is the fact, if we have the guards, the play shots, the play sharps, that sit there and dribble, I don't see how, if he's not a pure playmaker with Hall of Fame badges, how Locks can't sit there and, be rewarded for the fact that you have gold playmaking badges. You know what I'm talking about? If you have gold playmaking badges and we have Hall of Fame badges, how is it that's not counteracted at all? It makes no sense to me, especially when we know that you're blinking. You've been spamming dribble moves. You've been getting bumped all the way up the court, and now I'm getting dribbled through, and then either they just got an open three off or he just dunked, which goes into the fact of the Tendos. They got to make sure that all of that for next year is gone. They got to lock that. I don't understand how it even happened and how it was an epidemic this year, but that shit got to go.
No.
That shit got to go.
No.
There ain't no reason why 6'2", 6'1" Muggsy Bogues, Isaiah Thomas ass point guard should be dunking from the 3-point line like they Michael Jordan. Hell no.
I have the Michael Jordan dunk package. I should be able to pull that bit.
Good God. Boys is out there with super bunnies.
We got the vertical for it.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Our Duncan's high for it. Our vertical is for it. Like,
These boys be out there Vince Carter windmilling like when he was in the Olympics. It's crazy. He out there dunking on 6'11", 7-foot monsters.
I should be able to snatch that point guard every time.
Snatch it!
No. Not every time. No,
not every time, but it should definitely be a snatch.
Not every time.
Not every time, but it should definitely be a snatch.
There have been times when guards have done it to people in the NBA. Didn't Yao Ming get dunked on by Nate Robinson?
And didn't Yao Ming get like 10, 20 blocks on you guys like every time, every game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It happened once.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It still happened.
That's exactly how it should be.
It still happened.
Okay,
that
you
means
get a dunk once every 10 games.
No.
No.
That's not fair.
That's
It won't work like that. No, it's not. No.
Yes, it is.
It depends. It really depends on you gotta think about the defense of that center too. If it's an outside big, I should be able to dunk on him more than I should be than I should on the inside
He got dunked on every game. He got dunked on every game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Yao Ming.
He didn't get dunked. He got dunked on once every like 10 games.
How tall was Yao Ming? What, 7'6"?
Okay, Dwight Howard in his prime. Dwight
Howard's still getting dunked on.
He's still getting dunked
Granted, it happened a lot.
It doesn't happen.
Dwight Howard got dunked on more than Yao Ming did. I can tell you that.
It didn't happen every game. It happened every once in a while. So little point guards.
Once in a while, okay. So that's 1 in every 3 games. So then what do we got? 1 in every. That's a 33% chance. So then that's a 33% chance. 33% of the time, I go up. That's if I don't have takeover. So what if I do have takeover and I'm a slasher and I'm a point guard and now my takeover badge? That's plus 10 for dunk.
Mm-hmm.
So now what's at an 88 for me? I'm at a 98.
You should not be every game. You should not have 5 contact games done.
What if I get takeover? And what if
I don't care.
He said I don't care.
That's the point of takeover.
That is the point of takeover though. Like I can see both sides of it, but there's a lot of variables that go into the game.
Dwight Howard's not gonna get dunked on every game. Never.
But that's real life compared to how it is to a video game. You know, it's hard to compare. It's hard.
You don't even make the game enjoyable.
Yeah.
You still gotta think.
It's hard to compare.
90% of the people that bought the game.
I got a 99 block, and you got an 80 driving dunk, right? What's higher, 99 or 80? No, what's higher?
80.
If he got Tendos, that 80.
That guy shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah.
Tendos are not in the game.
That's what I said. It shouldn't be because it ain't real life. But that's another conversation for another day. That's something we can definitely get into. But we seen all of our opinions. If anybody else has any, make sure y'all drop them in the comments. Share the video. All that in between. The Wolves said what it was, what it is, and hopefully will be in 2K21. So more videos and more content is coming. Y'all be easy. We out.